What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Velocity Mob. My name's Josh. Today we got some goodies to install on the Eliminator. As you saw in the caption of the video, we are going to be putting a 15-tooth front sprocket on here. I feel like the bike would really benefit from having just longer gears in general. And you know, if I can get a couple miles per hour more on the top end when I'm on the highway, that'd be great. We got a couple other things here. There's a helmet lock I want to install somewhere. I got it off of Amazon. Let's see how that goes and let's get into it. All right, guys, this is the 15-tooth sprocket that I got on Amazon. Someone on Reddit recommended it. This is the one that they put on their Eliminator as well, and seems to be working pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw this thing on there. All right, guys, so the first thing we gotta do is loosen the axle, because we're gonna have to take the tension off that front sprocket, so that way we're gonna have to slide the whole axle forward a little bit just to get that tension off. So then we can go ahead and remove that front sprocket. So we got our cotter pin, gotta get off. I did get a new one, so I don't have to reuse this one. You don't need to per se, but it's good if you're taking a cotter pin off. It's just better to just replace it, put a new one on here, because the metal does fatigue, especially on that point where it's bending. And what could happen is when you go to reuse it, it'll probably break. So I did get another one. Let's get that out of there. All right, now that the axle nut is loose, now we can go ahead and give some slack to the chain tensioner. So we have a stud on this side and the other side. Not only is this what you use to put tension on the chain, but also to align your axle, because if you were to tighten this too far down and you're pulling the axle back farther than the other side is, then your alignment would be all out of whack. The tire would be facing like that. So there are marks on the axle, so you can see, you know, that they're both lined up, but we need to give slack here so that way we can slide the tire forward a little bit and get slack on that chain. So it's 14 millimeter, and the locking nut's a 12 millimeter. It's actually already pretty darn loose. So then give that some slack like that. This is the first time I go to adjust this chain, so I'm seeing how the mechanism works here. So let's go and do that to the other side. All right, let's see if I can just loosen this by hand like I did that other side. Nope, this side's definitely tighter. Man, you need the world's thinnest wrenches. Locking nuts loose. There we go. I saw the moment I moved this adjustment nut, the tension, a lot of the tension came off the chain. So I should be able to tap the tire, kind of push it. And as you can see, now I put more slack into the chain. So this is gonna make it a lot easier to get that front sprocket off. Okay, there are two 8 millimeter bolts that we gotta take off. It's back there, it'll focus. There you go. That we gotta take off, and then this whole cover will come right out. All right, so I noticed for the bottom bolt, you kind of got to push down on the shifter a little bit, give you enough clearance to get it off. loose. Get the first bolt out. Let's go ahead and get the top one out. All right, and we got it off. Holy moly, look at that. It is so dirty in here. Gonna have to clean that before I put that back together. So, all right, let's go ahead and get this loose. All right, guys, so the next thing we gotta do is move that locking washer off of the nut, because that's exactly what this is. This being bent to the nut like that essentially locks the nut in place. So we gotta get that off of there so then we can loosen it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna use like a little chisel and a hammer to bend that up. All right, so I'm gonna go get a punch just to fold that down, because if I'm not careful with this chisel, it will for sure like cut into that washer. I gotta be careful. All right. All right, that looks like enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what socket I need for this and go ahead and loosen it. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the chain. I'm using my 1/2" impact here. I've seen a lot of people struggling with this using like real small little 12-volt impacts, and those are gonna struggle typically trying to get these off. So this should go ahead and zip that thing off real quick. There we are. Nut is loose. I think I kind of put my arm in the way there. I apologize, but just trying to kind of hold this thing while I'm loosening it. Loosening it. I just learned English, guys. Bet. Go ahead and pop this sucker off of here. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me give some more slack to the chain here. All I'm doing is loosening those nuts back here on the swing arm, letting the tire move more forward. So I can have more slack. Beautiful. Come on, baby. There it is. Set the chain down right there. It does look a little rusty because I washed the bike recently, and I was gonna clean my chain and lube everything up, but I had already ordered the sprocket, so I was like, why would I clean the sprocket and chain that I'm about to replace? So that's that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and throw the new sprocket on there. This is the 15-tooth sprocket. If it'll freaking focus, there we go. There's the part number on there if you want it. And yeah, let's go ahead and throw it on. And just for orientation purposes, the side that has this offset goes towards the engine, okay? You want the flat side facing out. There you go, she is on there. In reverse order that we took this out. Crush washer, and it does have grooves that line up with the grooves where the sprocket goes on, like so. Boom. Put the nut back on there. I have no idea what the torque spec is. I don't have the service manual. So it's gonna go to a couple Ugga Chuggas. Probably obstructing your view so bad right now. All right, guys. I'll get back to you guys once I tie in this on there, okay? All right, guys, I gave it its couple Ugga Chuggas. I'm gonna go ahead and bend that washer, that locking washer, where it's touching that flat of the nut. So it's secured in place. Let's go ahead and do that. If I can keep my punch in place. All right, that sucker is on there. All right, cool. Now I'm going to clean the chain. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, and I'll get back with you once the chain is clean. Well, guys, it's late. I cleaned the chain, got everything back together. Had to stop a few times. My kids are running around and kind of distracted me a little bit, but everything's back together. We'll pick up back up tomorrow to install the helmet locks.